Diana Womack Walters, you have had a problem with Medicare in that and we're talking about people who got into your account, ripped you off, right?
Yeah. Medicare, back in 2024, started denying my request for payment for seeing people and never did this before. And so we rebuilt it because we thought it was us. And it wasn't because it got denied again. Then we found out that Medicare had been hacked. The hackers got in there and sent out denials to all the providers and then took the money that was there for us, that was supposed to be mailed to us. So,
Okay, so what we're talking about is not you receiving Medicare. You're providing Medicare services as a counselor, right?
yes, exactly. Mhm.
And that's what we're going to talk about, folks, because it's showtime. Do you find those after dinner games between the generations exciting? Here's my favorite Monopoly. Monopoly on the truth. To play Monopoly on the truth, all you need to do is to think that your opinion is better than everyone else's, and you don't even need a playing board, okay?
Okay, boomer.
Well, actually, it's not okay. Because though Monopoly on the truth is exciting and agitating and aggravating and. Stop!
Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Folks, we're doing something unusual now. Okay, Boomer generally talks to millennials, Zs, occasionally Xs, but we're going to talk to now. I hate breaking the format, but we're going to be talking to a baby boomer, another baby boomer. Now, this baby boomer provides psychological counseling to people, and she's been ripped off in two different ways. What's rip-off number one, Diana?
Um, Medicare got ripped off so that I didn't get paid for providing services. And then I noticed on my own personal medical um, money that I'm supposed, you get the EOB's explanation of benefits, and it showed that they'd sent $4,000 to Sunshine Inc. in Florida. And I hadn't been in Florida, so that money's gone. That's taxpayers' money too. And then I had other people, someone in DuQuoin had $50,000 taken out of their Medicaid medical thing that went for somebody's operation in New York. My cousin in Franklin, Tennessee, or no, Nashville, Tennessee, she had 15,000. I think it was either Delaware or New Jersey taken out of hers. And this is our tax money. And they're not doing anything about it to people advertising that this is going on so that maybe some of the older people will check their EOBs to see if this is a problem for them. So
I do.
I
I do. And yeah, go ahead.
I complained to Social Security, so they gave me a new Medicaid card, right?
Okay,
No,
they gave
Medicare
you a
card,
new
Medicare care
they
card.
gave you a new Medicare card
Yeah,
because you're on Medicare as well, so they ripped you off as far as the work you did, which you should have been paid for, and then they ripped you off again from your Medicare, the
yes.
one that you take services from.
So Medicare gave me a new card, and then
Yeah.
the next EOB or explanation of benefits that came in, the same place, Sunshine Inc. in Florida, charged another $6,000 for catheters. Now, one person does not use $6,000 worth of catheters. The computers at Medicare should have caught that and stopped it. So I
Yeah.
called and complained again. And they said, "Oh, we have to make a case." I said, "No, you don't. The computers should have caught that." So they're still screwed up. Once
Okay.
I became a new provider for Medicare. Okay. They gave, a new number. We billed again $4,000 for this last half year this year, and they only paid for, 1,900. So I'm just done. I shut my practice down. I'm finished with it. It's just a hassle, and I am not going to make my patients pay for Medicare's mistake. I'm not gonna make them do that.
What gets me about this is that most of my friends here in Chattanooga are Generation Zs and millennials,
Uh-huh.
and many of them are working two or three different jobs. because they're not getting paid enough. There's one who has a master's degree in education, and she got out of education because of the problems, and she was door dashing and Ubering and all this stuff. I know a Generation X who's got 3 jobs. I'm the only one who doesn't have a lot of jobs, and I have Social Security, but I live on a pretty low scale.
Bob,
This is
you're
horrible.
old. You're old.
Yeah, I am, but my teeth are nice. Would you like to see them?
Yeah.
I'll take a look. Yeah, I am old, but what I'm seeing is a lot of people, including the baby boomers, are getting victimized by, well, in this case, government inaction.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you see the end result, and how long will it take until you think you might get your money?
I probably won't ever get it. I'm not expecting it. It'll be a total surprise if I ever do. And, I decided I tried to get a hold of Senator Dirksen, and he never got back. I emailed him, never heard from him. And then I emailed Mike Bost, the other one. And in 2 days, they called me back, and his aide did, and I told him what was going on. He gave me this, email address for the FBI so I got their email, and I wrote it all out to them and sent it to them. I haven't heard back from them, but that's all I can do about this mess. It's not my mess, it's their mess, and unfortunately, it's costing the taxpayer an arm and a leg. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. So you contacted your Congress people and senators, and you haven't gotten much of a impact from that.
No,
So, heck, maybe we can help out and spread the word to watch out. I check every day. I check my bank account twice in the morning and in the
exactly.
evening. I also check Medicare generally once every 2 days, but I don't trust anything that's on the web because of all these problems and people hacking into accounts. It's just incredible, and we need to get a hold on of this stuff. And I had a discussion a few weeks ago about truth. What is truth? Well, it is something that people can agree on, and it's not your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth. It's something that we can both agree on, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this program is so we can come to agreement between the generations. But in this case, it's between the boomers. And this is a much better interview than I had with the last boomer. Should I tell you a little bit about it?
Yeah, I'm interested.
I interviewed myself,
Oh, is this the
woke
one where you
myself up.
were in bed and you were on another porch, you woke yourself? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
funny, that was funny.
yeah, I wasn't happy with it, but the other guy was. So, you got out of your practice completely. Now you were working at a hospital
I'm still
as an
working at the
employee.
hospital. I'm still working at the hospital. Mhm,
Okay, so you're no longer doing the private practice.
exactly. Mhm.
So at least the hospital's going to pay you.
Yes, they do quite well. I'm happy with the hospital. I love working there.
Oh, okay. So you have managed to land on your feet, but you're still out thousands of dollars.
Mhm. Yeah,
What do you think would solve this problem? I
I
mean,
think
I'm talking about active steps.
okay, I think that Medicare needs to revamp, their whole system and set the computers up so that they can catch this stuff before it happens and find out what happened. And the other thing is, if any company or other insurance company like Blue Cross or something, because they had a little problem, they send you a letter and they say, "Hey, this has happened.
Yeah.
Here's what you can do about it." Nothing from Medicare. There's nothing in the AARP about them being breached. I have not seen anything on television, nowhere. So I tell everybody, every doctor I go to, I said, "You guys know Medicare got" "Oh, no." I tell them the story, and then I say, "Tell your grandparents, tell your aunts, uncles, anybody
Hmm.
that gets it to check their EOBs and then call and complain, so that it can get stopped as soon as possible."
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. What we're doing now with OK Boomers, we're also putting out a newsletter, and it's going to
Okay.
be on that newsletter.
Oh,
And
great.
here in Chattanooga, where I'm at, uh, we interview each other, and we have a very busy type of web sites. we have a lot of interviews, a lot of things going on in this city. So the word will get out in Chattanooga. But you're in Southern Illinois. You're in Murfreesboro now, Murfreesboro
I
or
still live in Ava, Illinois. Little
Ava?
town,
Okay,
700
Ava.
people out in the middle of nowhere, and we love it.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, Southern Illinois is a beautiful
Yes,
place.
it is. Hey, by the way, I hiked those trails down at Giant City Park.
Yeah, and you had a hip replacement, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And
Wow.
I'm so yeah, it's just great. So we've got my husband and I, we've knocked off 3 of them, and we're up to the mile one now, and then there's another 2-mile one, then there's a 12-mile one. I don't think I'm gonna be making the 12-mile one, but I'm gonna do the 1 and the 2. Yeah,
Well, that's one thing we talked about on another program about health and exercise for boomers
yeah.
because we can't, be jumping around like we used to. And I do a lot of walking on the weekend. I have a weekend job and I do patrols and I try to walk 45 minutes Saturday and Sunday. The rest of the time I'm doing this.
You
Yeah,
like it, you like it, you like it.
I like it. I like it, but I don't like all the stuff we went through yesterday before I just I told you I went to bed, crawled up in the fetal position and sucked my thumb, but it upset me.
Yeah,
I
I
need a
felt about it.
therapist. You
It
know
was
any
so
good therapists?
huh?
Psychotherapists around? You know any good psychotherapists?
Actually, the answer was really simple, and you just I didn't heck, I'm computer challenged, so I had no clue, but this was easy, so you came up with the solution today,
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Mm, I should have come up with a solution yesterday.
Well,
But yeah, but in the spirit of mental health, I'll blame it on you. See, now I feel a lot better. Okay, well, Diana, it's fun talking with you. And folks, I knew Diana when I lived in Carbondale, Illinois, where Southern Illinois University is located. And that's where I got the long COVID, brain fog, senility, that type of stuff. And she was helping me with it, giving me directions to find her, giving me some water and telling me how to drink it and
but I had
all
to
these
give you
other
so
things.
many directions over and over and over.
Yeah, I know. It was fun. Okay, Diana, do you have any final thoughts?
Do I have any?
Well, yeah, unless there's a Diana in here. Oh, hi, Diana. That's
Okay,
another one. No, you.
final thoughts. I
Where's
think
my
that
finger?
if anything, for the baby boomers alone, and maybe some of the millennials, Gen Z and stuff too, maybe they've gotten caught up in this terrible mass of scamming. There's just all sorts of flavors, all sorts of, I
Hmm.
mean, on the internet, on the phone, mail, and it's a shame. It's a shame that this is happening. And I don't know how they're going to ever stop it all. But for the baby
Well,
boomers, they have to be really alert, because we're so trustworthy. We can't imagine somebody would do something, like some
yes,
of these scams that they do. And a lot of us are, very, what's the word I want to make, innocent about crap like that. And they need to be alerted. It's about my last
yes.
word.
Okay, I agree with you as a baby boomer. So the object of this program is for the two generations to agree. Where's my finger? See, I lost my finger. Okay. The two generations to agree. And since we're both of the same generation,
Wait a
we
minute. Wait a
naturally
minute.
agree.
Wait, you're
Mhm.
you're a baby boomer? When were you born?
1952.
Oh, that's right. You're a little younger than me. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Mom. All right. Diana, it was a pleasure. I enjoyed talking with you.
You have a good one, Bob.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer. Okay, Boomer.